Hey everyone, this is Chris Bolts. I'm coming in with an article on something that should be very concerning for all of us, not just for those of us in the content creation sphere, but for anywhere that involves life in general, because AI is something that is here with us to stay, and we're not going to be getting rid of it anytime soon or anything. However, we do need to be responsible for it with AI, and when AI is used to steal from someone else without getting that person's permission for any kind of use, there has to be some type of recourse that's put in place. Now, you obviously see with the title of this article that I'm reading right here, this is courtesy of Geeks and Gamers. The Critical Drinker accuses channel of using AI clone of his voice, and everyone seems to agree. And I'll play that video for you guys here in just a moment so you guys can hear that for yourself. I'm going to be cross-posting this on both my pop culture channel and on my reaction channel, because I think this particular topic applies to both, and it applies to everything else in life, like I said before. But before I do get into the content, do make sure you like, share, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. All that stuff really does help me out here. Now, once again, the title of this article, The Critical Drinker accuses channel of using AI clone of his voice, and everyone seems to agree. Written by Marvin Montanaro over there at Geeks and Gamers. And so it starts out right here. One of YouTube's most prominent commentator creators, the Critical Drinker, whose real name is Will Jordan, has raised serious concerns that a channel is leveraging an AI-generated version of his voice and passing it off as original content. Yes, indeed, that is exactly the case. And surprisingly, the video is still up here. The channel in question, currently known as the Jaded Historian, which is previously known as the Vintage Vault, reportedly has about 877 subscribers at the time of this report. And you see, here's the tweet right here. This is the associated video, The Unseen Fury, and Critical Drinker responds to that over on X. Am I going nuts, or is this an AI version of my voice? And when you hear it, you're going to go ahead and see exactly that there is no chance that is not his voice at all. But first, let's go ahead and do a compare and contrast here. First, I'm going to pull up a video of Critical Drinker, a guy I've been following for quite some time, because he, like the article said, he is a critical commentator rather. So let's go ahead and pull up his channel here. I'm going to go ahead and let you just listen to his voice for a moment.
Really is a matter of perspective. For example, your boyfriend isn't really a useless, effeminate pussy who makes your skin crawl, he's actually just redefining masculinity. And I'm not actually drunk right now, I'm just redefining sobriety. Or in this case, Predator Badlands isn't actually a goofy buddy comedy complete with cute animal sidekicks, an insecure protagonist with daddy issues who has to learn to connect with his emotions, weightless CGI combat scenes and wacky banter from a quirky android co-star.
All right, that's enough of his voice right there. Like I said, he is a really good commentator, especially on pop culture issues. You definitely should go ahead and check out that video. By the way, I did watch this video. He is completely correct on Predator Badlands. That is such a bad movie. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people who are going to watch this movie for the first time around, they're going to say, "Oh, it's great," but when they watch it the second time around, they're going to be like, what the hell is this shit? It is such a contrast from the original Predator to what you're watching this right here that you're wondering, how is this all part of the same universe? And just look at this guy. This guy, it's like, come on, man. Come on. But I digress on that. That's not the point of this video. Let's go over here now to the Jaded Historian, and let's go ahead and listen to his particular video. And you tell me if you can hear the difference in the narrator of this video from what you just heard from Critical Drinker.
Hollywood loves selling you a story, doesn't it? The glamour, the magic, the stars aligning to create something timeless. They want you to remember the perfect musical numbers, the dazzling costumes, the happily ever afters. But the real story, the one with the screaming matches, the backstabbing, and the sheer bone-deep sweaty palm terror of a studio going down the drain, now that's the good stuff. Tonight, we're talking about a film that wasn't a film, it was a funeral. The most expensive, most spectacular, most tone-deaf funeral in Hollywood history.
Now, when you hear that, does it sound any different from what you heard from Critical Drinker over here? By the way, another thing about this, notice that this is about, that the other video from the Jaded Historian is about a film. That actually happens to be the speciality of the Critical Drinker. He does a lot of critical analysis of television, of movies, and he also does have a series where he will go ahead and break down the history of certain types of movie. If you want to look at his Crash and Burn series, which talks about actors and actresses who basically blew up their own careers. Production Hell, which talks about the production hell that a lot of these movies had gone through in order to get to the big screen. And then Why Modern Movies Suck. The Drinker Recommends, the Drinker Fixes. So he does a lot of these types of things where this type of movie that he's up here watching, or the Jaded Historian is up here analyzing, that will fall right within his wheelhouse. So anyone who saw that particular video, if they didn't actually look more closely at this and notice that it did not come from the Critical Drinker, they would actually go ahead and say, wait a minute, is this actually the Critical Drinker that's going in here and narrating this particular video for this Jaded Historian? And unfortunately, I don't know how much there is that he can actually do, because as you can see, the Jaded Historian has not pulled down the video, and he actually did increase in subscriber count. He went from 877 subscribers. He's currently sitting at 910. So this particular issue is actually bringing some limited amount of clout and notoriety to the video, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what the Jaded Historian wanted to go ahead and do. And as this article goes ahead and points out, there's some key issues that have been raised with regards to this. First of all, does a person's voice belong to them? I would assume yes, a person's voice belongs to them. It doesn't belong to anyone else. So however that voice gets used, it's basically a natural born trademark that each and every one of us has. Our voices are unique to us. Our cadences are unique to us. And you notice how the cadence and the syntax of the voice on the Jaded Historian video was modeled very closely as to how Critical Drinker goes off in there and uses his voice. So that has to have some type of automatic intellectual protection, at least here in the United States of America. I don't know how it would react over in the UK or Wales, because that's where the Critical Drinker is from. He's from the UK, he's from Wales. They have different intellectual law and copyright law than we actually have over here in the States. I think ours is a little more robust, but I wonder how this would actually work in this particular issue here. Marvin raises 3 bullet points right here. Intellectual property, voice identity. Does a YouTuber's voice count as a protected asset when cloned by AI? We would hope so, because when I know there was some issues with a lot of the Disney Star Wars trilogies where a late actor's voice was used without their consent, and his family had decided to go ahead and sue to try to get some type of claim made against Disney. I know when the late, great James Earl Jones passed away, allegedly within his estate, is stated that his voice can continue to be used for Darth Vader and other Disney Star Wars related projects. So that is a big issue. Another one right here is platform responsibility. If a channel is using a voice impersonation to attract views, what responsibility does YouTube or any other social media platform have to intervene? Again, the video is still up. So what will YouTube do in this particular instance right here? Will YouTube come in and say, you know something, you can't do this? And if you wish to go ahead and do this, you need to get the permission from the original voice holder, and before you can actually use their voice. That will raise all kinds of issues that I'm pretty sure YouTube at this point in time doesn't really want to go ahead and address. There's a lot of videos out there where Joe Rogan's voice is being used without his permission. A lot of AI narrated advertisements and shorts are being narrated with his voice, and yet nothing has been done. They still exist on the platform. So what is YouTube's official position now? Hey, as long as no harm is being done to the actual voice holder, then it's no foul. So that's another thing that has to be addressed there. And lastly, credibility and creator economy. The Critical Drinkers built his brand on authenticity, style, and recognizable delivery. What that is, when that is copied by AI, it undermines his quote unquote product. I would say it does. But again, the jaded historian, the way he set the video up and everything like that, it follows quite remarkably along with the way Critical Drinker narrates his own videos. But again, I agree that it does undermine that, because what if on another video it's not used in the proper way or anything like that? And Marvin closes out right here. At present, we do not have publicly verifiable proof that the channel's voiceover tracks are AI or literally cloned from the Critical Drinkers file library, nor has there been a response from the jaded historian, and there probably won't be. We're going to look at his comments here in just a minute at the time of writing. What we do have is a credible creator raising alarm over audio likeness, coupled with evidence that the voice cloning services are actively marketing an imitation of him. For creators and platform users alike, this is a red flag moment. If recognizable creator voices can be cloned and reused without permission, the integrity of commentary-driven channels is at risk. We'll monitor for any takedown requests, platform statements, or responses from the party involved. And yes, I absolutely will go ahead and be doing that myself as well, because I'm very interested in this. I wouldn't want anybody coming in there and cloning my voice and then just using it over God knows what without my permission. I would at least like to get paid or get some type of attribution. Like, hey, just go ahead and give me some attribution, or just give me a little bit of the proceeds that you actually go in there and when you're using my voice. And the very first comment right here says, "Drinker, is that you?" And we do see the jaded historian. He does like the comment, the comment there. "I'm accusing you of stealing his voice for your videos." He knows he's gloating. Exactly. That's exactly correct. He is exactly gloating. That's why he liked your comment. That's why he liked your comments. Why are they confessing? They're not. They're bragging. That is exactly correct. That's exactly correct. This person is bragging because there's probably nothing that the Critical Drinker can do about it, and the proof will be one of two things: either this video never comes down and it stays up in perpetuity, or the jaded historian comes back and does another video and dares Critical Drinker to do something else about it. So yeah, this is interesting, and this is definitely something that's going to be an issue going forward with AI, not just over the voice, but also over your images. I know a lot of times Disney, a lot of companies like Disney and individuals like George R.R. Martin are suing to make sure that AI cannot touch any of their stuff and everything. So this is a brave new world, a brave new world. What do you guys think about all of this? What do you guys think about Critical Drinker's voice being taken and used against his permission by this jaded historian? What do you guys think about AI use in general? Whatever your thoughts, jump down in the comments, let me know what you think, and make sure you do like, share, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. All that stuff really does help me out. And remember, this is Chris Bolts signing off, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take it easy.